This is Buck Buckingham from the Australian Yarra Research, and you're listening to the Bigfoot Club podcast.
Hey guys, please go to our website at www.bigfootclubpodcast.com. Check out our merch and all episodes. Also, please look for our social media at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Bigfoot Club 1. That's Bigfoot Club number 1. Also, check out Matt Knapp's Bigfoot Crossroads on YouTube. Check out our new sponsor. For your Bigfoot-sized coffee cravings, visit cbgindustries.store. They have over 40 products to choose from. When you enter promo code FIRSTSIP, you will receive a discount on your first order. Remember, every moment has its flavor.
Hey everybody, Robert Jesse Dominguez, Bigfoot Club, Season 5, Episode 10. Today, Steven's not in today. He's actually doing Boy Scout stuff with the boys. So I have a replacement for him. So I want to introduce this guy. He's been on the show before. He's a good cat. I want to introduce the big dog, Felipe Mendoza. Big dog, what's up?
What's happening?
Hey, do you like that music I'm playing for you?
I love it. I'm dancing to it. Slowly disrobing too.
You know, I don't play a lot of music, intro music for people. Just you, man.
Dang. Not even for Matt?
Not even for Matt, not even for Steven.
Wow.
So what's going on, man? You're a guest co-host today. You're filling in for Steven. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I like it here. It's nice and clean. It smells good in this room. I like it. There's no underwear on the floor. Watch out, Steven.
I know, right? Steven,
I might like it too much.
He's going to take your job. So what's going on with the Big Dog podcast?
I still haven't put anything out. It's almost we're in the middle of the year already.
Yeah, you've been. You've been busy or what? What's going on?
Well, I guess. Well, life kind of takes over,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it's not really an excuse. I'm a dad to two wonderful stepkids,
Mm-hmm.
and a husband now, and
Things change.
yeah, it changes your priorities and everything. But I'm still into it. My wife co-hosts with me.
Yeah. So if you're Big Dog, then who is she?
Little T. No, she got all kind of nicknames. She likes to be called Tree.
Tree? Yeah.
Tree, like the tree, because she's actually named after a tree.
Really?
Yeah, that's how she gets her name, Trita.
Wow.
Yeah, her grandfather named her, and it's a specific tree that's out on the res, where she grew up. Yeah, that's how she got her name.
If you don't mind, what tribe is she from?
She's Navajo.
Navajo. Okay. Because you've been on the res a lot, right? Recently, since you married her.
Yeah, a little more since I met her. I've been out there a couple of times with other people doing investigations and stuff out there in New Mexico. And actually, when she first saw me, I was actually speaking at a conference for Brenda Harris. And yeah, she saw that big hunk of manliness from Texas. And
Right.
I think a couple days. This was in 2016, and a couple of days after the event, I got home, and I got like a friend request, and then I accepted it, and we've been talking almost every day since 2016, and then finally we decided to tie the knot because.
But she moved here though, right?
Yeah, she moved with me. She moved in with me.
Wow, that's love. That's love, man.
That is love. That's why every day it's when you fall in love with a person. I was telling my kids today, you don't just fall in love one time. You fall in love over and over and over again. When you find someone you can fall in love with a bunch of times, a million times, and keep going, that's the one.
Man,
I'm
super happy for you.
People. Oh, I appreciate it. But a lot of people they get married for the wrong reasons, because maybe she's attractive, and then later on they find out she can't even make rice or beans.
Yeah,
my woman's a full package. She can cook up a storm. She'll make a full Thanksgiving meal just for nothing. And she's done that before. I've come home from work and there's just a turkey sitting on the on the table with mashed potatoes, everything you can think of, and dessert. Just because it's Tuesday.
It was funny because whenever I met you, you were eating a turkey leg.
Oh yeah, I love turkey. I love me some turkey.
So I thought that was cool. That I got to meet you that way. You were grubbing down and you weren't holding back, man. I really like that. I dig that. I go, man, this cat was
sometimes I forget I'm in public, making noise and talking to it and smacking it every now and then. And my wife's got to hit me. Hey, chill, bro.
Well, we gotta get you set up to do some more shows this year or something, man.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, some of my shows.
Yeah. I'd be happy to come on, or if you need people, I can get you some of my Australian people. So. Oh
yeah, but up in the middle of the night to talk to them.
Yeah, you gotta I usually talk to them. If you're I always do my show on Fridays, so we do it on Fridays about 9 p.m. And if you do it with someone from Australia, especially in their East Coast of Australia, 9 p.m. here, it's on Friday. It's Saturday there at 1. At noon or at 1 o'clock. So it's the middle of the day for them, whenever I do my show. So it's always good. It's always acceptable to them, and they always do it. So we interviewed Buck Buckingham last Friday, and it went really well. That guy's a talker, so he did the work for us. So it was good.
Okay, yeah, a couple cats from Australia.
Yeah. Because you had I recall you telling me that you met some guys from Australia, right? That came here to do Bigfoot stuff, right?
Yeah, they were doing a bucket list. It's Aloe Baker. I think his name is Aloe Baker or something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. Mm-hmm. Sorry, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all come down and they emailed Russell Miller. And said that they wanted to do some Bigfooting, and Russell was a good buddy of mine, and he called in, and they all wanted us to meet. And then so I finally walked up to them, and they kind of surrounded me, and they're like, "Hey, these are the guys from Australia." And I just said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And I didn't really know what to say, so we were all just kind of doing that awkward stare.
Yeah, they probably never seen a Mexican before.
They probably haven't, especially as gorgeous and marvelous as me. So
big dog.
They just looking at me, and then I just go, "So what can I cuss on here?"
Yeah. Nah, of course.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I didn't want no baby mamas coming out.
You're fine.
I said, "What the fuck is up with koala bears?" And they just looked at me and started laughing and stuff. And they just started talking about that. Well, they're always feeling Randy, and I was like, "Who's Randy?" And then they all started laughing again, and they're like, "No, that's kind of like what y'all say, honey." I was like, "Oh,
yeah." So they got funny vocabulary. They call flashlight torches. They call chanclas thongs.
Chanclas,
yeah.
Thongs.
I know.
We call thongs.
I know. That's what I tell them. So, but
we call them chones.
Chones and all kinds of stuff. But man, I don't. Have you done any Bigfoot stuff lately? Have you gone to the woods or anything like that?
No. I don't think I've gone to the woods, but not really for Bigfoot. I just went out to go shooting, target practice, and stuff like that. But yeah, so we've been out there. It's been super duper hot. I mean, it's agonizing. Where you're just out there for like 15, 20 minutes, and you're just like, I just don't want to be here no more.
It almost sounds like that time when the first time you went out to the field with your cousin, right? I mean, it was hot then too, right?
My God, yeah, it was real super hot. And then, I mean, even in the shade was hot, but man, I was kind of walking around in direct sunlight, and yeah, I felt like a microwave was on me, or I was in a microwave. Yeah.
So you were on Matt's show recently, Matt Knapp with Bigfoot Crossroads.
Bigfoot Crossroads, yeah, I was on there. Told my story on that show. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun. He's a good guy.
He's the best. He's the best.
Yeah, I finally got to talk to him in person. It's different when you're messaging someone and you don't really get the whole personality or whatever. So when I finally got to talk to him, man, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he and we talk at least about maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
We like call each other all the time, and like usually if I have to go into work, it's a long drive in, so whenever I get out, I call him and we talk. I talk to him like for 45 minutes, but then he'll call me at the house, and I'll be watching like wrestling and stuff, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm watching wrestling," like I always do. So, but like I'm actually watching wrestling right now. I'm watching SmackDown right now. So
wrestling.
Yeah. I can't get away from it, man. I try, but it keeps pulling me back in.
Hey, that's
pulling me back
that's
in.
your thing.
Yep. So, well, that's cool that you were on his show, because like only heavy hitters go on his show, man.
Ooh.
So you must be a heavy hitter.
I know I'm heavy. I know that for a fact.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going
to. But yeah. Other hitter stuff, I don't know. I haven't really. I mean, I know a lot of people in Bigfoot. I know a lot of researchers. I have a lot. Well, a lot of them I could call my friends.
Yeah.
Like if I go to a conference, I pretty much know pretty much everybody. Just friends.
Yeah.
Not that I'm some sort of celebrity or nothing, but it was weird though when I was doing other podcasts. And I'd come up into a conference, and people, big dog, and I was like, "Who are you? Do I know you?" I'm trying to think. Do I owe you money? What do you want? Do you owe me money? What's going on?
I was gonna tell you, man. You don't give yourself enough credit, dude. Because like you do a podcast, okay? You do a podcast which goes out to everybody. It goes out to everybody in the whole world. So whenever you do that, you reach people and you influence people and you touch them. So that's why I say you're like a heavy hitter, even though you don't go do Bigfoot. You're not in the woods right now, but you influence people by talking about your points and talking about your stories on your show. So I think, to me, that's good, because you can reach out to people, and people because like so many people like write into me and say, "Hey man, I've listened to all your shows. I feel like I know you, so I can tell you like whatever I want." But
that's happened to me before.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Where people have quoted something that I said.
Yeah.
That was, I'm always joking and doing little stuff here and there. I was talking about dressing up like a ninja, and some dude was like, "Hey, what's up, my ninja?" and all this, and he's laughing and all this. So I'm like, "Hey, you, what's up?" I didn't know what he was talking about, and then I guess he could tell that I didn't know. And he's like, "Oh, when you were talking about dressing up like a ninja on your podcast," I was like, "Oh, oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about." I didn't know what was going on here, what we was finna do, or
yeah. So I mean, you touch a lot of people, dude. Whether you think you don't or not, you kind of do. So I mean, you're big dog, man. Come on.
Well, I appreciate everybody when I get to talk to them. I love it when people tell me their stories or something they got going on. I like to hear people's experiences and stuff, and that's when what got me to do my show. Because I was usually a co-host, and everybody was kind of giving me like parameters, and you can't do this, we can't do that. We're not talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to these people. I don't like these people. These people are not cool. These people are cool. So like, it's like a clique. I mean, but
of course,
you got people that like these people and people that don't like these other people, and if you talk to them, they don't want to talk to you no more. Which I'm just like, what? If you don't like me, that's cool. If you do, that's cool too. Even better.
The way I look at it on Bigfoot stuff, because I mean, I still read like Bigfoot reports. I still look at the YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I'm still like involved in it. I don't go and do a lot of research in the field that much anymore because my condition and stuff and how I got like recovery stuff. So I don't do a lot of that stuff anymore. But if someone were to reach out to me and ask me for help, I would help them like in a heartbeat. But I mean, I love to hear other people's stories and their experiences and how they felt. Because to me, I was streaming with my nephew last night, and we were streaming with this guy, and we went into this guy's stream, and he saw my name, Bigfoot Club. So he started asking me questions about Bigfoot. And so I told him, and then he told me he stopped gaming, and he started telling me a story that he had in Canada, whenever he was on vacation. And so we started talking about it. And so like half, the whole hour of his streaming playing stuff, we were talking about what happened, where he was, how he felt, what he saw. And so I love to be involved in people's like stories because, whenever someone sees this creature or this being or however people want to interpret it, it changes their lives sometimes. It changes them. And they're a skeptic at first, and then whenever they see this creature, their whole life changes. And sometimes it engulfs them. Some people, because like you meet a bunch of people, right? So you meet someone and say, "I saw Bigfoot when I was little, and now that's all I think about. That's all I want to read about." And so, and then some people just see it and don't ever want to see it again. So I've always been interested in those stories, and I try to help some people because like some people. Big Dog, they can't deal with seeing a Bigfoot. You're right. No. So I was kind of getting to that, about people who see Bigfoot. I've always been interested in that story. And so I interviewed this guy last year, Attila Caldi, and he does Yowie documentaries. He does UFO documentaries. He does paranormal, shows too. And so. I've asked him. I said, "Hey, did you do this while you were doing? Did you try this in the field? Did you see this? Did you try to get him to react?" And his answer to me was, and I loved it. His answer to me was, "Robert, I don't do the investigation. I just record it. That's all I do. I don't partake in any of that stuff. I just record what's there, and then I go home." So I kind of look at Steven and I and. I kind of see it that way. So Steven and I, because like Steven's been in the field with me ever since he was like a little kid. So I was taking him to the field when he was like 6 and 7 years old, and like all the way up to he's like 13. And so so he's seen a lot of stuff. Wait a minute,
were you using him for bait?
What?
Were you using him for bait?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
No, because he the bad thing about Steven, and everybody knows this about Steven. He doesn't have a dad, and his mom passed, and so he was just always with me all the time. He wanted to be with me, and I wanted him around because I wanted to influence him. So I just took him wherever I did. He wanted to be with me, so I go, "I'm going to the woods. You okay with that?" He wasn't okay with it, but he wanted to be with me. So he'll say this to this day that he was going to protect me. That's what he was saying. But every time we would go in the field, we would see stuff, and we would experience stuff. So. We would, he's seen a lot of stuff, him not being a researcher. So he's experienced tree knocks. He's just, he's experienced yells and, squatches throwing like, sticks and rocks at us in the middle of the night. So he's experienced all that stuff. But I kind of look at us as the Bigfoot Club podcast. We're like Sports Illustrated for the cryptid stuff. We don't do it. We just report it, or we just give our opinions about it. So that's the way I kind of. So, I've told Steven this, and he hates when I say this, but we're not podcasters. We're cryptid sports entertainers. That's what we are. So that's the way I look at us, going forward, is that, we just report it. I've been in the field. I've had my boots in the ground. I've interviewed people. I've been to multiple states. I've been to, dried up creek beds and, on top of big hills and Kiamichi Mountains and, Ohio, all kind of places. So I've seen lots of stuff, but at the same time, I don't do it anymore. But I like to give my opinion about stuff whenever I like something or whenever I don't, I don't like something. So that's what I dig about the podcast, is that I just give my opinion about stuff. I said, I don't like that. That doesn't look good. So I don't know.
It's kind of the same thing that me and Ann were doing with the Squatch Dogs,
Mm-hmm.
the website and all that stuff. We just kind of would talk about what everybody's doing, who's
Mm-hmm.
who's where. We didn't ever give specific locations, but if people knew what we were doing, so they would share information with us, and they were cool with us, talking about an experience that they had, or what their techniques were when they go camping or whatever. So that's kind of what we did. It's the same thing. And, we're around it so much that we, like you, we had our own opinions of what was legit and what wasn't, stuff like that. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting. I love talking about Bigfoot. I can talk about Bigfoot for hours. And someone, because like you always get this question all the time when people, because they know people know that you're interested in Bigfoot. People know me. They know I'm interested in Bigfoot, and people always walk up to me and say, "Hey man, how come we can't get any good evidence?" I get that.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
Go ahead. So.
Or people would say, how come there's no pictures or no video? I said, there is, but people, a lot of times people just say that it's fake, or,
yeah,
it's hard to, there's probably a lot of legit photos and a lot of legit videos out there, and then especially with this new AI stuff coming out, oh man, it's going to be impossible to even know.
Yeah, I think, back when I was with the TBRC, Luke had us do this drill. Whenever we were in the field, like back then, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, we didn't have all this digital stuff. We had like this little bitty camcorders and little bitty cameras. And so he wanted us to do this experiment where we would hold a camera and then we would separate and we would like go to like, an area, like a rural area, and just walk down some game trails. And whatever we could see, like if it was a bird or a possum or a raccoon, we take a picture of it. Just take a picture of it while you're in the field, right?
Yeah.
That is the fucking hardest thing to do, man. Because like I've been in the woods walking down with a camera in my hand, and I see like a red fox walk, just run in front of our trail, our trail path, and I try to take a picture of it, and he's gone.
Yeah, it's quick.
And that's like a fucking red fox.
Even if you're ready, it's too quick.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's tough.
You big dummy.
Yeah, it is tough as shit, but
gotta be ready. Even if you are ready, it's not fast enough.
No, it's tough, but hey, it's okay. But I was going to ask you. I was going to go off subject here a little bit. What did you think about that Titanic, or that submarine that exploded, the Ocean Gate? Is it Ocean Gate? I forgot the name of that company.
You know what? I just now started hearing about it. I think I heard about it yesterday. My daughter was talking about it when we were eating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what are you talking about? What's going on? I didn't know anything about it because, I didn't really look it up on Facebook or anything. So I didn't know anything about it. And then I started getting bits and pieces here and there. But I think it's pretty sad from the people that were in there. I heard there was a father and son there. And
yeah, they were. I don't think all of them were billionaires. I think one of them was like a Titanic expert, and I think the other people might have been billionaires, and they were just wanted to go look at, go look at the Titanic wreckage, and I guess it lost like control or air, and it imploded on itself. But they were down so they were down so deep that the pressure of that of that submarine, if it went wrong, it just crushed them, man. They probably didn't even know what happened, which is probably a good thing, because being down there, you would suffocate. I hate to hear about that.
Yeah.
So, but somebody was posting that the Titanic's, the people who died down there are the ones who, they didn't want anybody to look at their grave, so these paranormal, these ghosts, stopped this. That's what I was hearing. I don't know what validity that is, but I thought it was pretty interesting.
Sea ghost?
Yeah. Sea ghosts.
Well, I mean, how many do you hear about ghost ships and stuff like that?
Man, water is a big conductor of, electricity and paranormal stuff.
Heard that.
But
so I used to do a show a long time ago, and there was like some Bigfooters and then like a paranormal guy. And then so we started talking to all these different people, and we didn't really know he was a paranormal guy. We thought he was just a Bigfoot guy. But then some people would start talking about weird stuff that we were like, I don't know what that is. That sounds weird. And then he would start asking questions. Is there a water source? Talking about like he thinks that it's a spirit or a ghost or something. So I remember him asking about stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I heard that the water is a good conductor.
Yeah, there's
for that type.
There's many contributors to like paranormal stuff, because like there's like quartz, there's limestone, there's water, like underground water under a property, or iron, all that stuff. It's like it's almost like a VCR. If someone were to live on a property that had any of these elements, and they would die horrifically, and it's almost like an imprint. Like it would leave it there, and then it would just just replay itself over and over, because like some of the stuff just harnesses energy. And so,
right.
So whenever I was doing paranormal stuff, and people would ask me, well, how do I get rid of it? If it was something that was just playing over and over, but it didn't recognize who was there, it was just, they would just see like say for example, they would just see like a lady go through a walkway, and they'd go through the wall or something, and I would just tell them, I said, just live your life, have birthday parties, have weddings, have dinners, just live your life happy. And it'll suppress that, and it'll just push it out with your energy. So that's what I used to tell people all the time whenever I did paranormal stuff. So
positive energy.
Yeah, positive energy. It works. It works sometimes. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about that stuff, but I do know about electricity and all that stuff doing my line of work. So it's, and then the human life force is basically energy. I mean, just we got energy in our brains that controls our hearts and all our organs. And once we die, all that stops. So
absolutely,
who's to say that energy goes away after we die? I mean, it's not in our body, but maybe it goes somewhere else.
So I always talk to Matt about this also as well. So what do you think about, like, say, like a Bigfoot, lives its life, it's a juvenile, grows up, finds other Bigfoot, has a family, keeps moving and hunting, and it gets older, and then it dies, okay? So what's to say that a Bigfoot ghost, like whenever people, because you ever hear those stories about people say they see a Bigfoot and then it just disappears, right? So what if that was the case for like a Bigfoot? What if, it died in a certain area that people like to camp out, and then every now and then, whenever there's energy there, it pops up, like it's, alive again. And then people see it. I go, oh, it's a Bigfoot. And then it just disappears. So
right.
What do you think about the possibility of that?
I never thought of that, but I mean, I guess it makes sense, because people seen people and thought, hey, what are you doing in my house? And or see somebody go in a room. Actually, I heard a story like that where, a friend of mine had a roommate, and she died in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Night. And that same night, he saw her come through the front door, and he said, "Hey, what's up?" And she didn't really say anything. She didn't say anything. She just went in her room and closed the door. And then he was like, "Okay, I guess, like, what's up with that? Maybe she's had a bad night or whatever." And then the phone rings, and then someone tells him that she's passed away.
That's fucking creepy.
And then he goes and opens the door in the room, and there's no one in there.
That's fucking creepy as shit.
So that's what kind of when you said, about the Bigfoot disappearing,
Yeah.
Why can't that happen?
Right. I mean, because there's been times where I was up in, I don't care where I say where it's at, because I don't research there anymore. But I was up in Kiamichi, Oklahoma, and we were because like our theory was, and I don't know how your theory was, but our theory was back then in the late 90s, early 2000s, that Bigfoots could see these game trackers that we would put out. It would see them and it would avoid them.
The infrared.
Yeah. So it would avoid them. So if we wanted like a Bigfoot to come to an area, we would put them around everywhere that it would avoid, so it would go down a certain path so we could see it. And so there was a couple times that we were putting out these game tracks and we didn't see anything, and so we would like move them. And I said, you know what? Let's just look at the SD card, see what's in it. And there was a couple times where we saw, like, it was me and Ken Marvel, we saw like just like a torso, just like no head, no arms, just like shoulders, chest, stomach, and it was walking through an area, and it was like, it was that night, so it was hard to tell whether it had hair on it or not. But that's all we saw. And I go, "Did you see that?" I go, "Run that back." And we would ran it back a bunch of times and look at it. And it just looked like and it was like really, because like we would put these game trackers up really high. Like we would get like a little mini ladder and then put them up real high, like, 8-7 feet high up, on a tree. And we would see it up that high, just walking through. And I said, man, what if, I didn't think nothing of it back then, but now I think about it now. What if that was a Bigfoot ghost, just walking through and, just going, like, maybe either going to meet up with some other Bigfoot, or maybe he's going to go to a fish hatchery or a pond or a dam or something, So I don't know. I've always thought of that. And as I got older, I just think of it more and more. About paranormal, because I've done both. I've done paranormal, research, and I've done Bigfoot research, and so I've kind of intertwined both of them together a little bit. So, because like a lot of times EMF, paranormal people talk about EMF, and then Bigfoot people talk about what's that? Or infrasound.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is similar. To me, it's similar. I know people who listen to the podcast are going to hear me. I say it over and over. To me, it's similar. EMF, infrasound. It's the same. So if you were to get bombarded by both, you would probably have the same kind of reactions to it. Like some people get headaches, some people get nauseated, some people get sick, some people get lightheaded, whatever. So they get all that. So whenever I was doing paranormal stuff, I would talk to people and they'd say, "Yeah, I got a headache. I started not feeling good, started feeling sick, so I left." And I would get the same thing on Bigfoot stuff. I said, "Wait, that sounds like the same stuff, man." And so I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people don't put this together. But I think a lot of the supernatural stuff and the Bigfoot stuff, it's just too close. And they cross, and some people just shut it out and they don't want to talk about it. But I think, in order for us to find out what's going to happen with Bigfoot, or if people are ever going to like see a Bigfoot or document it, or science proves it, then they're going to have to accept. I think, this is just my opinion, I think they're going to have to accept the supernatural side, because there's things that Bigfoots do that we can't do. Like we can't lift heavy things. We can't run up a incline steep hill at record time. We can't do stuff like that. And
jump up trees.
Yeah. So I mean, Bigfoots can do it. So who's to say that they have extra abilities on other things as well.
I mean, I know the thing with when you were talking about the infrasound. There's one time I got dizzy in one area. I was driving though. And we usually used to stop in one spot and set our recorders on the truck, and we kind of just stand around. It was before we got there, I stepped on the brake, and I just kind of scanned the area before I pulled in, and all of a sudden I got like tunnel vision, and it just felt like the truck was still moving, and I was, like extra stomping on the brake, and I was like, oh shit. And then I was with Bob that night, Bob Garrett,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, you all right? And I said, yeah, we gotta get out of here. I don't know, something's up. I feel dizzy. I feel sick.
That's interesting.
He's like, all right, let's just go. So we took off we just went further down the road, and I felt better. I was like, oh, yeah. So maybe, I don't know. He goes, maybe it's infrasound. I don't know. So we go back, and it happens again in the exact same spot. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So I said, I'm just going to tough it out and pull in. So we pulled in, and after it took a little while, but I got back to normal. And of course, we heard some weird stuff out there, but
mm-hmm.
that's the first time I heard a turkey out in the middle of the night. Yeah,
it's a good thing. It's a good thing it didn't see you, because it'd have been over.
And I was like, "Come here, turkey leg, get in my belly."
I'm gonna talk about something that I've never talked about before, and it's something that just came to my mind whenever you were telling me your story about whenever you first went out with your distant cousin, right? Lupe, right?
Right.
When you went out, was it a electrical right away, or was it like a gas right away, or was it just in the woods?
I think it was electric.
Okay. So here's my theory, okay? So remember we were talking about infrasound, EMF, because like whenever you're doing paranormal stuff, like whenever a ghost or something manifests itself inside someone's house, the first thing I always look for electrical box. I always look for bad wiring. I always look for where the electrical pole from the street comes into the house. So if that comes into the certain part of the house, then I would narrow down, okay, this is where the paranormal or the ghosts are seen the most on this side of the building or this side of the house. Mm-hmm. So that's what was been my theory. So let's take it up to Bigfoot, and let's go up a notch a little bit here. So if Bigfoot, because like we've always thought this back in the 90s, 2000s, that Bigfoots use gas right-of-ways and electrical right-of-ways as a sidewalk through the counties. So rather than tromp through the woods, because anytime you want to find like footprints, tree breaks, scat, or maybe even see a Bigfoot, it's like in this area, like in these like electrical right-of-ways through a county, gas right-of-ways. So let's just say that there's electrical right-of-way, and there's already like EMF there already, and then people witness the Bigfoot, because like most of the stories I've heard is like people are terrified, and then they see a Bigfoot and they try to get out of there, and the Bigfoot chases them or whatever, you know. So what if the Bigfoots know this and use this as like ammo? Like, okay, I'm in this electrical right-of-way that has a lot of EMF. You know, he's not going to say EMF, but he knows there's energy there. And so right. he uses it as an advantage, as a tool, as a weapon. And he bombards the people to get him out of that area. I've never thought of that until we started talking tonight.
They could be sensitive to it also.
Absolutely.
You know, that's their domain, and I mean, that's all they do is run around out there.
Yeah, because like there's an area, I've always talked about this before too, Brown Springs, Oklahoma. It's right on the Red River between Texas and Oklahoma. It's right next to that casino. I forgot the name of the casino, but it's called Brown Springs. And in the 50s and the 60s, the Dallas mob used to use that to dump bodies. They used to use it to dump bodies whenever they killed somebody. But there's also been stories of dogmen in the area by the I think the Choctaw. And there's also been stories about Bigfoot. So I remember I went up there because there was a story from somebody in Gainesville. This was probably back in the 70s or something. But there was a lady that her and her boyfriend went up to Brown Springs, and they were going to, I guess, go up there to go make out or something. And the story goes that there was a Bigfoot up there, and it broke the guy's neck, and it broke the lady's legs back, and then raped her and left like its semen inside her. And that was a story. I think it was heard from a sheriff or a constable or somebody. So
yeah, I've heard.
So we went up there to go investigate it, and as soon as I stepped out of the vehicle, Felipe, I was like hit with all kinds of like, I was like super anxious, and like I was having a panic attack, and that's one of the symptoms of EMF, strong EMF or infrasound. So I was bombarded with it. Like I was like, oh man, I'm not supposed to be here, you know, like almost like I was like you know how you feel whenever you're going to get on a big roller coaster and you really want to. So
yeah.
So it's kind of like that. So I felt that way. And while we were there, we walked out. It was me and Kenny, Ken Marvel, and Buddy Britt, and my cousin. And we walked up to the Red River, like a couple of 200 yards or something. Came back, and there was footprints all around Kenny's truck, and there was a tree pushed in front of his truck.
Oh man!
And so these prints were like, I think like 12, 13 inches. And then I did a call like maybe like 20 minutes after that, and then we got a call back from the other side of the Red River. And so this area is known to have a lot of paranormal activity as well, like apparitions and stuff. And then there's Bigfoot there too. So I mean, I don't know if they're attracted to it. So I've heard so many stories in the past. Also, whenever I was doing investigations about Bigfoots being attracted to cemeteries, and I've always wondered that in the past, why? And then now that we're kind of putting this stuff together. Well, at least I am. I don't know if you are. I mean, I know you're probably still on the fence about this, but there's been I've heard maybe like 20 stories of Bigfoots being near cemeteries or people leaving flowers at like a loved one's grave, and then they see a Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're attracted to the EMF or, like you were saying, they're sensitive to it. I don't know, but I find it intriguing and interesting. I don't know.
Also, how many times have you heard of people out there doing paranormal stuff and run into Bigfoots or Bigfoot-like activity?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with Russell Miller and his wife. They were paranormal people.
They're both lovely people, by the way.
Yes, and they were out at a graveyard, I think, and then they started hearing all these growls and all these crazy noises. And I think that's how they got into Bigfoot.
And then look at them now. They're running the East Texas Bigfoot Conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Whenever they do that one in Mineola, which is great because that whole area is like haunted.
The whole town?
Yeah, that whole town, that whole block, it's like super haunted.
Yeah, I saw a lot of zombies at the stores and stuff like that.
Too sweet. So we've been going like 47 minutes now.
47 minutes?
Yeah.
Watch out, Steven.
So is there anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you want to talk about? Anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to say we lost a good friend, Randy Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
And rest in peace, brother.
Hey, hold on. My mom is calling. I'm gonna answer, okay?
Is that your ringtone?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were doing it. This Darth Vader.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, what you doing, mijo?
I'm actually doing a show right now.
Hola, mama.
Hey, how are you doing?
This is Mom. I'm actually doing a show with my good friend Felipe Mendoza. He's from Houston, and we're doing a show right now. And you called into the show, so we have you on the show.
So I'm on the show?
You're on the show.
Hola, senora. You like Bigfoot?
I don't understand.
What, Mom?
Is my grandson there?
No, he's in Houston, Mom. He's in Houston with the boys. They have a Boy Scout. I was telling you, this is my friend Felipe Mendoza. He's on the show with me right now. He's doing the show with me tonight.
Oh, Mendoza, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing great.
Felipe,
I love my son hard, and I think he's super great.
He is. He's all right. He's pretty good. Thank you for making him.
So, Felipe, I was going to tell you, my mom had when she was in her teens, she went up to, Mom, where was it at? It was in Indiana, right?
Indiana Harbor, Indiana.
Indiana Harbor, Indiana. And you were what? You were with my grandfather and your sister, which is my aunt. And Mary, and y'all were what? Y'all were picking stuff?
We were picking up some, when they decorate the dishes when they serve you, broth or something like that.
Parsley?
And we were
parsley? Was it parsley? Okay.
Yeah, parsley, and we were doing that. We were picking them in boxes, and then we heard a noise, we thought it was a bear because they said in Spanish, it's an oso. Mm-hmm. So we thought it was there was like cornfield, and there was it was very long, a lot of cornfield, and we could hear somebody coming real ugly, real fast, Mm-hmm. And we thought it was, so we all got in our cars and we just took off. And then you told me that bears don't do that.
Yeah, I was telling her, Felipe, I go, Mom, bears don't do that. If bears are not seen, they'll just hide and go away until you're gone. I said Bigfoots do that. So apparently they were picking parsley, and they were across from a cornfield, and they heard yelling and growling, and then this Bigfoot was shaking the corn stalks and just running through the corn stalks, and they all got in their vehicles and left. So my mom had a Bigfoot incident, and she didn't even know about it until she told me like years later.
Yeah, there's lots of people like that.
I was 19 at the time.
What was it, Mom?
I said I was 19 years old at the time.
That was what, last year?
Yeah.
So, Felipe, I was going to say, my mom's birthday's tomorrow. So, happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Mama.
You. Okay, thank you so much.
Can we sing happy
Rob,
birthday?
Yeah, Mom.
Later on, I need to talk to you, okay?
Okay, Mom. I love you.
I love you more.
Okay, bye.
I thought we were going to sing.
No, we did it tomorrow. She sounded like she was in a hurry, too, so.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she calls into the show all the time, and she knows I record on Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
And she just calls all the time. So that's kind of cool.
She calls the homegirls. I was on the show. Check it out.
I know.
Those are your followers.
I know, right? She's gonna start a TikTok. But anyway, Felipe, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you like? Are you writing a book right now or anything like that?
No, I don't even know how to read, so I wouldn't. It'd be. No, it wouldn't work.
Man, we have to get you on again as a guest though, and then we got to talk about. I want to talk about Navajo lore with your wife Tree.
Yeah, she's starting to open up a lot. Before she didn't want to talk to anybody about anything, but
yeah, because they're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's has with the Bigfoot stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's like just leave them alone and they'll leave you alone type of
yeah
stuff going on now. So that's why before when we were dating, I could get her to go with me, but now that we're married, it's kind of like taboo to do that type of stuff.
And I totally understand that.
To go look for Bigfoot to, so you just got to be sneaky about it. Let's go camping at this one place. She loves camping.
Yeah, camping's cool. I love it. I love it myself. But I can get around a little bit more better now because I think whenever I met you, I had a hard time walking. And I had a hard time standing for a long time. and it's taken me a little bit, to get all my senses back and get my feeling back. Because like right now, I think whenever I saw you, I couldn't feel like from my calf down to my foot. But I could walk. I could feel the pressure, but I couldn't feel it all the way. Like if there was like a bee like stinging me on the foot, I couldn't feel it. Couldn't feel it at all. And so right now I can feel like certain parts of the bottom of my foot, not all of it. Like certain, like it's patchy. I can feel like my heel. I can't feel my heel, and I can feel like the big toe here, but I can't feel the other toe over here. So it's a little bit patchy. So, and I know Logan's asked me to go to the field with him, and I know what's his name, James Poe. What's his name? He's asked me to go to the field with him. And I back then I just couldn't do it. I go, man, I can't even feel my feet, dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I had to walk down a trail, I'd probably like face plant or something,
Yeah, you kind of need feeling in your feet.
Yeah, and plus, if there's snakes and stuff, you wanna be able to get out of the way and stuff. So
be able to know if you got bit and be like, man, what happened to my foot? Why is it all black? Oh, dang, I got bit.
Hey, I was gonna ask you, how do people find your show?
They can Google it, Big Dog Random Show, and then a lot of times it'll go to the Spotify or show a bunch of different platforms that you can listen to it on. I was trying to do YouTube stuff, but it's just way too much editing and this and that, and you got to find the pictures.
Man, I gotta go down to Houston. I gotta go down to Houston and visit you, and then I could show you some stuff, and that way you're on all the platforms. Because I want you to grow, dude. I want you to grow with me. I want us to grow together. Wait, that sounds kind of weird.
Growing together.
So because you're my dog, man, and if I make it big, I want you to make it big with me, man. So
yeah, we're gonna spend the big money together. Be at the club. Oh, wait, I can't go.
Show. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And then I get people that support, but it's like Spotify took over, so I don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, I'm on like everything. I'm on Deezer. I'm on Pandora. I'm on iHeart. I'm on iTunes. I'm on Google Play. I'm on stuff because like once you get all those big ones, they kind of like go out to smaller ones, and so I know that like because I'm on iTunes, I'm on YouTube, I'm on pretty much everything. So I use because I think Podbean, the one I use, it has like a big platform, and I know what do you use? You use Anchor, right?
Well, it's gone now.
Is it?
Now it's just I think it got bought out by Spotify.
Spotify, okay.
Yeah, so the commercials that I was doing for Anchor, they're gone, and so I'm trying to do Spotify commercials so I can get some kind of little something.
I gotta start doing it too. I gotta start monetizing stuff too. So, and I want to start a Patreon too. So I want to start doing that because I mean the whole goal is to do the show full time. And I would like in a perfect world, I would love to do like 3 shows a week, and just talk.
I want to be the Joe Rogan of paranormal. Yeah.
Hey, do you like the music that I'm playing?
I can't really hear it that good.
You can't hear it? How about now?
Yeah.
That's your music, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see my video?
No.
Oh. Bro, I've been sitting here with no shirt for this long, and I was wondering why you said none.
No, you're not on video. You're on. I called you on Messenger. It's only audio.
I got my camera on.
Well, I don't see you.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Push.
You know what I'm saying? G's up. That's what I say all the time.
G's up.
G's up. And then Steven's little boy says, "Too sweet." You hear that?
Too sweet. But yeah, hopefully I get some more content. I know Matt's interested in coming on. Get you on.
Yeah. I mean, if you just want to get Steven on, or if you want to get Steven and myself on together, that'd be great.
I asked Steven, but he was like, "Nah, I only do stuff with my uncle."
Whatever, man.
I did ask him one time.
Did you?
No,
really?
I gotta ask him. Maybe I wasn't clear or something.
Man,
how my Spanglish is.
Steven loves you, dude. He loves the hell out of you. So
yeah, he's my boy.
Yep.
I feel like me and him could collaborate dance moves.
Yeah, of course, man. He can pop.
You seen those two big guys at the bar or whatever? Everybody's all getting all crazy over when they dance.
Yeah,
they dance at like baseball games and football games. I think me and Steve can do that.
Felipe, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I love you so much. You're such a great dude, and I can't say enough good things about you.
I mean,
yeah, I know, but I try to keep it under an hour. So when I keep it under an hour, I get more, more downloads. So
cool, man. Well, I appreciate you calling me. I know we haven't really spoken in a while because I thought you had a girlfriend or something. Kind of keeping to yourself. I was like, all right, I get it.
No, I started a new job, man. And it's just like I've been entrenched in it because it's different because I'm working from home now, and I don't even get up because I have to just sit there and I got like 5 screens I gotta open up and look at people's policies. Anyway, I don't want to bore everybody with that one. So yeah, the insurance stuff, the insurance field, it's quite, it's like, it's legal too. So everything you do is legal. So you gotta control what you're doing. You gotta make sure you're doing it right. Because if you mess up, you can mess up someone's life or someone's vehicle, and they can sue you. Blah blah blah. But anyway, so
I got you.
So thanks for coming on. Let's go ahead and say good night to everybody.
Good night to everybody.
Good night.